I became a life winner after being spoiled by bullet comments. Unlucky me, just 2 minutes after transmigrating into the apocalypse, was struck dead by the original body's boyfriend using his lightning based superpower after being reborn again. The first thing I did upon opening my eyes was to stab a knife into his heart. At that moment, noisy bullet comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. Ah, she killed the male lead. Am I seeing this right? This love-struck female supporting character actually killed the male lead with the male lead dead. How is this story supposed to continue? When I opened my eyes again, I found myself once more in the arms of the original body's boyfriend. He looked at me with tender affection in his eyes. Xiaoyu, I love you. But my internal alarm bells immediately went off. Having died once before, I knew that in the next second, he would push me away and then use his lightning-based ability to strike me dead. The saying goes, strike first to gain the upper hand, while hesitation leads to disaster. With one arm still wrapped around the man's waist, I swiftly drew a dagger from my belt and with all my strength plunged it into his heart. Warm blood splattered onto my face, yet I felt an overwhelming sense of relief and ease in my heart. He stared at me in disbelief. You actually. Before he could finish his sentence, a torrent of blood gushed from his mouth. I smiled gently at him. Rest in peace. I will recite prayers for you, wishing you an eternity in hell in your next life. At that moment, a flurry of noisy bullet comments suddenly appeared before my eyes. Ah, she killed the male lead. Am I seeing this right? This love-obsessed female supporting character actually killed the male lead. Lin Yao is already dead. How is the story supposed to continue? My relaxed brow couldn't help but furrow. Before I could figure out what the bullet comments meant, the dagger still plunged into Linya's heart was suddenly pushed out by a tremendous force. Then a flash of white light passed, and the wound on Linya's heart began to heal rapidly. My wrist was also cut by a wind blade, but I still held the dagger firmly without letting go. Wu, you're asking for death. How dare you hurt Yao? A girl in the distance, accompanied by several ability users, was rushing toward me at high speed. Ignoring the pain from my injured wrist, I once again plunged the dagger in my hand into Linya's heart. The blood that Lino had managed to stop earlier gushed out once more. Even if I die, I'll drag Laya down with me. Unfortunately, the dagger in my hand was knocked away once again, and a wind blade came rushing toward me, aimed directly at my heart. Watching Lin Yao's wound heal once more, I felt both furious and regretful. Was I going to die before I could even kill my enemy? The wind blade was closing in, but I didn't want to die. My mind raced, screaming at my body to dodge. Yet, my body felt as if it were bound, frozen in place and unable to move. Just as I was growing desperate, I suddenly found myself teleported to an unfamiliar enclosed space. I tightened my grip on the dagger and cautiously surveyed my surroundings. Had I been imprisoned by the group that had just arrived? They didn't kill me outright. Were they planning to torture me slowly at that moment? Bullet comments popped up before my eyes. Phew. I thought the male lead was really going to die if it weren't for the female lead's sling ability. The male lead might have actually died. But isn't this story going in the wrong direction? If the female supporting character isn't killed by the male lead, how will he gain his spatial ability? Wulu is the best. She healed Lino. The supporting female character is so lucky. She actually hid in her space at the critical moment. Then Mayao doesn't have space ability anymore. How will he hoard supplies and seize resources in the Qiaoying base later? Don't worry. The supporting female character can't run far. Her space can't move. My hand, which was gripping the dagger, relaxed. So, this is my own space. It seems I'm also a supernatural ability user, and a spatial one at that. But can this space only be used for storing things and hiding? In such a perilous, post-apocalyptic world, lacking combat power would be a huge problem, making survival a major challenge. The experiences of being killed and killing others through 2 rebirths have left me a bit weary. Knowing there was no danger, I simply sat down on the ground and began to survey my surroundings. This space doesn't have the spiritual springs. Land. or houses often described in novels. It's more like a room without doors or windows, with walls on all sides, roughly 200 square meters in size. It could indeed hold a lot of things for storage, but right now, it's completely empty, with nothing inside. Seeing that there was truly no danger around, I slowly began to sort through the information revealed by the barrage. First, the world I've transmigrated into should be a novel, with the male lead likely being the original body's boyfriend, Lin Yao, who possesses a lightning-based ability of unknown level. One of the reasons he killed me was to seize my spatial ability, which means that killing an ability user allows one to obtain their ability. As for the method of acquisition, it's still unclear, but once I kill Lin Yao, I should figure out how to obtain it. The agony of being struck dead by Lin Yao's lightning just after transmigrating into this book is something I must repay him for. Additionally, the female lead is named Wu, likely the woman who just rushed over and threatened me. Her ability is a healing type power capable of saving even someone with a damaged heart. This S-class ability is probably the highest level. Right, I licked my dry lips. I want that ability too. However, the next step is to go to the Xiaoyang base to properly settle down and develop my strength. Seeking revenge now would only be asking for trouble. As for why I chose the Xiaoyang base, the bullet comments mentioned that Lin Yao would go there to seize resources, which suggests that the Xiaoyang base and Lin Yao's base must be sworn enemies. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I glanced at the watch on my wrist. 3 hours had already passed, and both my body and mind had almost fully recovered to their optimal state. But I don't know if Lin Yao and the others are still waiting outside for me to emerge with 2 fists against 4 hands. I don't dare to recklessly leave this space. At this moment, the barrage comments started scrolling again. This supporting female character is such a love-struck fool. When she was in love, she gave everything to the male lead. Now that she's completely out of resources, how long can she hide in her space? Sooner or later, the male lead lying in ambush outside will kill her. I hope the supporting female character dies soon. If she doesn't die, how can my Io achieve his grand ambitions? I'm starting to feel sorry for the supporting female character. Her father doesn't care for her. Her mother died early, and the only boyfriend she had actually loves her half-sister. The person upstairs has a twisted worldview. What's there to sympathize with about the female supporting character? The male lead belongs to the female lead. She's just a homewrecker. Great. Lio is indeed waiting outside for me to go out and die. I licked my dry lips again. I've heard that a person can survive for 3 days without drinking water, and I don't believe Lin Yao and the others never doze off. Another 6 hours passed, and the hunger in my stomach only fueled the anger in my heart. It's already 3:20 in the morning, and people are usually very tired at this time. Maybe I can try to see if there's a chance to escape now. Coincidentally, the bullet comments gave me the answer at this moment. The male lead and female lead are so sweet. The CP I ship is the sweetest in the world. The male lead kissed the female lead. Now is the chance. I quickly thought to myself to get out, and the moment I was out, I immediately lay flat on the ground. Taking about a second in total, I lay quietly on the ground, hearing the sounds of a few people not far away teasing Lin Yao and Wu with no one noticing me. Then, taking advantage of the night and the undulating terrain around me, I slowly crawled forward on the ground. It wasn't until I looked back and could no longer see Lin Yao and his group that I quickly got up and ran toward the forest ahead. I kept running until the sky began to brighten, then finally stopped, found a hidden thicket to hide in, and sat down to rest. Only then did I have time to check the bullet comments. Why did the supporting female character run away? Lin Yao, stop kissing. Go chase the female supporting character. Your mobile warehouse has run away. The supporting female character stamina is really impressive. She actually ran for over 2 hours straight. I struggle even with an 800-meter run. Is this really the time for such reflections? The male lead's future space has vanished. How is he supposed to win people over with supplies and establish his own base in the early stages? Don't worry. Among the male lead's followers, There is a superhuman with a keen sense of smell who will definitely be able to track down the female supporting character. Seeing this comment, my heart skipped a beat. I had no idea how far this superhuman sense of smell could reach. I pushed myself up on my aching legs, ready to keep running. But they had no idea the supporting female lead had already left the spot long ago and were still guarding it. Don't joke around. The supporting female lead has run 10 kilometers in the past 2 hours. That superhuman sense of smell is only Sarank. At best, they can only detect scents within a kilometer. Reading this, I relaxed again. The surge of adrenaline that had just welled up instantly dissipated, and my aching legs gave way, causing me to slump back down. Don't you think the female supporting character is a bit strange? I raised an eyebrow. Could these bullet comments possibly tell that I can see what they're saying? Are you referring to her brain? That's right. She's a complete lover fool. No, you all keep saying she's a love-struck fool. But yesterday, she actually stabbed the male lead in the heart with a knife, and she did it twice. Would a love-struck fool be willing to kill the person they love now that you mention it? I also think this female supporting character doesn't seem like a love-struck fool at all. Did the author mess up the writing? Do you think it's possible that the characters in the book have awakened self-awareness and started rebelling against the fate lines written by the author? What you said gives me goosebumps. Yuri giving the female supporting character too much credit. Even if the characters in the book really did awaken, it should be the male and female leads who awaken first. How could a brainless idiot like the female supporting character possess such strong mental power? Then, how do you explain the female supporting character's behavior? The barrage of comments erupted into arguments regarding whether I had awakened. Most people believed I had, while only a small portion insisted that the male and female leads were the ones favored by fate, and it was impossible for me to awaken before them. However, they couldn't explain my unusual behavior either. These debates didn't affect me much. I was utterly exhausted and couldn't help but lie down on the grass. But just then, something suddenly grabbed my ankle and started dragging me. I quickly tightened my grip on the dagger and sat up. It was a vine dragging my ankle. Had the plants here evolved as well? Seeing that I was about to be completely hoisted upside down, I quickly bent my upper body forward, stretched out my arm, and cut the vine with a single slash. Thankfully, the vine hadn't evolved into something as tough as steel. As soon as my ankle was freed, I immediately stood up and cautiously scanned my surroundings, unsure of where the vine's main body was located. Everything around was quiet. With sharp hearing, I detected a faint rustling sound coming from my left rear. I immediately sprang into action, trying to preemptively cut the vine with my dagger, but 4 other vines emerged from different directions, binding my wrists and ankles, leaving me completely immobilized. Then my whole body was bound by vines and moved eastward until it stopped in front of a huge morning glory. Is this the true form of the vines? A mutated morning glory. Cold sweat broke out on my forehead. Could it be that I had just escaped the tiger's mouth, only to fall into the wolf's den? Damn it. Why can't my spatial ability be like in the novels, capable of cutting or transferring space? Just as this thought crossed my mind, I suddenly saw a 3-dimensional space appear in the air, and my spatial ability evolved from a grade to S grade. I joyfully used my thoughts to control the space, moving it next to the wide open morning glory, then dismantled the wall, letting it slice the morning glory into 2 symmetrical halves. The whole process took no more than a dozen seconds. The vines that had bound me immediately went limp, and I, caught off guard, fell to the ground. Inside, the ovary of the morning glory that had been cut in half on the ground. There was something crystal-like, glowing with a green light. I stepped forward, unsure whether I should pick up the object on the ground, or if it posed any danger. This supporting female character really has some luck. I thought she was going to be eaten by the mutated plant. After absorbing this green crystal core, she'll probably gain another ability. I wonder what kind of ability it will be. The green crystal core should be what element or healing type. So, it's called a crystal core. If it can be absorbed, then it probably isn't dangerous. I bent down to pick up the crystal core from the ground, placing it in my palm to examine it carefully. Its surface was as clear and transparent as crystal, but I had no idea how to absorb it. I was about to tentatively utter the word absorb, but before I could even speak, the crystal core in my palm began to melt. I could feel a surge of power flowing into my body, and the hunger in my stomach vanished. In less than a minute, the crystal core in my hand had completely disappeared. At that moment, I could sense that I had gained a new ability, a healing ability rated B class, a B class healing ability. This added another layer of security to my survival in this world. However, the bullet comments mentioned earlier that one could seize others' abilities. Does that mean there are crystal cores within people's bodies as well? Is this a secret known to everyone living in this era? If that's the case, then no one can be trusted and anyone could potentially kill to seize the crystal core. I used my healing ability on myself and the fatigue and soreness in my body instantly vanished. I could feel that my physical condition was better than ever before. Relying on spatial annihilation and healing abilities, I killed 3 men who had ill intentions toward me along the way. However, I found no crystal cores in their heads or bodies. Could it be that I guessed wrong? I looked at the barrage of comments in front of me. What is this female supporting character doing? Is she a pervert? What is she looking for in these people's bodies? Could she be looking for crystal cores, mutated plants, and ability users below B-level don't have crystal cores? Doesn't she know that? Crystal cores are in the head. Look where she's rummaging. I'm about to vomit. Is there any barrage protection? No wonder the male lead doesn't like her. Has she gone from being love-obsessed to a necrophiliac? That's quite a leap. Our pure and kind-hearted heroine is truly adorable. She would even help heal an injured ant. That's way too exaggerated. So that's how it is. After clearing up the confusion in my mind, I stopped searching through the bodies of the 3 men and instead continued heading toward the sunrise base they had pointed to before they died. Looking at the 4 large characters, Sky Dome Base, written on the city tower before me. I wish I could go back and whip those 3 men's corpses again. The supporting female character finally managed to escape. So why did she run back to Tangong? Could it be that she wants to come back and complain to her father, the Ndar-in-Chief? How ridiculous. Wu Qingyang likes the female lead and doesn't care at all about the supporting female character, who is the daughter from his ex-wife. How could he possibly scold the female lead for her sake? I thought the supporting female character had become smarter, but I never expected she would come back and walk right into the lion's den. I couldn't help but hold my forehead. Had I actually returned to the base where Lin Yao and Wu were? Mississippi, why did you come back alone? Where are young Master Lin and second Mississippi? I turned around and saw a middle-aged man in military green combat gear, leading a squad of about 20 people, smiling as he greeted me. I glanced discreetly at the gun holstered at the man's waist and nodded at him with a smile. They said they had urgent matters to attend to, so they asked me to come back first, just as the Ndar-in-Chief just sent us out to find you, saying, "There's something important. Shall I escort the young lady over?" The man's hand moved toward the gun at his waist, with so many ability users watching behind him. Now wasn't a good time to make a break for it. I could only nod in agreement. All communication devices in the post-apocalyptic world have become unusable. Wu Qingyang probably doesn't know what happened to us 3 days ago, right? Could it be that Lin Yao and the others didn't ambush me at the original location, but have already returned to the Sky Dome base? I followed the man into an armored vehicle as the city gate slowly opened. Just after entering the city gate, one could see the dilapidated houses built by the common people themselves, some woven from thatch, others made from rags and wood, with everyone wearing a numb expression on their faces. Further ahead was another city wall. After passing through this gate, the houses turned into uniformly styled earthen dwellings, but the number of people living here was noticeably fewer than in the outer city. After passing through yet another city gate, the population grew even sparser, and the houses once again became uniformly built brick and tile structures. Finally, after the last city gate, the destination was reached. This area resembled a modern commercial street. bustling, and prosperous, though the buildings were not tall, with the highest being no more than 3 stories. This Sky Dome base has a clear class hierarchy. After getting out of the car, the man led me into a villa. For the first time, I met the original body's father, the supreme ender of the Sky Dome base, Wu Qingyong. He waved his hand, signaling the man to step back, then narrowed his eyes and looked at me dangerously. "You wretch, kneel down." I straightened my back and stood my ground. "I don't know what I've done to make you so angry." The male lead has a subordinate whose superpower is controlling birds. It must be him who reported to the Ender-in-Chief, which is why the Ender-in-Chief is so angry. Watch your words. What do you mean by reported? Our male lead was just stating the facts. Okay, I feel like the logic here is a bit off. Laya tried to kill Wu Ying's daughter, failed, and then reported to Wu Ying. What exactly did he report? I already said it's not reporting. Wu Ying threw the teacup in his hand at my feet. How dare you talk back? Lin Yao is Lin Hei's only son, and you actually dared to lay a hand on him. Do you think your father's position as Ender-in-Chief is too secure? Is that it? Under Wu Ying's intense pressure, instead of being afraid, I actually laughed. "Father, I killed Lin Yao for your sake." Wu Yingyang's words made it seem like he considered Lin Hai and his son Lin to be major threats, but in reality, he didn't care about Lin Yao's life or death. He was only worried that my act of killing Laya would bring trouble to him. Moreover, based on the information revealed in the bullet comments, Laya was not someone willing to be subordinate to others either. Why not let them start fighting each other earlier? So, I can just sit back and reap the rewards in the end. Playing the emotional card is useless with someone like Wu Qing. So, I didn't say that Lino wanted to kill me first. Instead, I directly spread a rumor. I overheard Lin Yao and his father plotting. They planned to take my space first, then go to Qiaoying base to seize resources, using them to win people over, and finally overthrow you to take the position of Ender-in-Chief themselves. Ah, how could you, the supporting female character, betray them? The male lead hasn't grown strong yet. What if Wu Ying kills him now? How does the supporting female character know about this? Right. The male lead and his father's secret plot was clearly in their family's secret chamber with no third person present. So, how did the female supporting character find out? Could it be that the female supporting character also knows that Lin Yao has already recruited Wu Qinjiang's confidential secretary? No way. Lino still needs to rely on this secretary to sow discord between Wu Ying and the various officials. This is the key to his success in overthrowing Wu Ying. Wu Qingyang didn't seem surprised by the fact that Lin Yao and his father wanted to kill him. Hearing me say this, he just frowned slightly and then snorted coldly. I didn't expect him to want to take action now. He really can't wait a moment longer. In that case, don't blame me for being impolite. Then he looked at me with dissatisfaction. You're useless, too, since you took action. Couldn't you just kill him directly? Why leave such a big mess? I retorted without hesitation. Then you should ask your other good daughter. I stabbed Laya twice in the heart, but Wu saved him both times. What could I do? She even teamed up with Laya to hunt me down while I was only thinking about rushing back to tell you about this father. And you still blame me. The supporting female character is truly malicious, secretly tattling on the female lead. Don't worry, Wu is the female lead. No matter how much the supporting female character says, it will only make Wu Qing despise her more without harming the female lead in the slightest. Wu Qingyang didn't say anything more, but he also didn't say anything blaming Wu. My heart sank, and I immediately felt that something was wrong. Since Wu Ying already knew that Lin Yao and his son were plotting something, then my information wouldn't be considered valuable to him. So when Laya returns, Wu Qingyang will probably still push me out to appease Lin Yao's anger first. I studied my mind and said, "Father, your daughter has also obtained a very important piece of information." Wu Ying looked up at me, signaling for me to continue, but I didn't speak further. After a few minutes of silent confrontation, Wu Ying cleared his throat first. "Shall you, my dear, I know you're a good child, and you're also the one I value most. As for you hurting Lin Yao, I know it must just be a little quarrel between young lovers. I'll explain it to your Uncle Lin. Wu Qingyang was making a promise to me, assuring that he wouldn't push me out because I stabbed Lin Yao. He directly framed the incident as a lover's quarrel. I continued to look at Wu Ying with a smile. It's not just a little quarrel between your daughter and Lin Yao. Liao cheated on me. Shouldn't you, as my father, break his third leg for me? Wu Qingyang certainly couldn't possibly go and underscore Lin Yao. He doesn't dare and can't afford to openly break with Lin Hai right now. I'm just leaving him some room to negotiate with me. At the very least, I need him to step up for me at the Lin family in the end. We can't just let this matter slide by ambiguously. Of course, I'm not expecting Wu Ying to actually stand up for me. I just want an attitude, a stance that shows everyone in the base that Wu Qing is on my side so that Lin Yao at least won't dare to act against me recklessly within the Skirich base. You're going a bit too far with this. Wu, a deliberately affected female voice chimed in. I turned to look behind me. It was a middle-aged woman, quite attractive, but with a look of a delicate, fragile flower, just from her appearance. I could tell she was probably F.A. Wulis' biological mother. Fonga stepped forward, linking arms with Wu Qingyang, and covered her mouth with a light laugh. This is an era where strength is respected. A capable man marrying a few more wives is considered an elegant affair. You really shouldn't make things difficult for your father. I don't know if it's just my impression, but why do I feel like the female lead's mother is so two-faced? It's not about being two-faced or not. Her values just aren't quite right, are they? What's going on with you all? Isn't what the female lead's mother said the truth? Why do you hold such strong prejudice against her? I didn't even glance at Fonga, completely ignoring her words, and just stared at Wu Qingyang. Dad, I hope there are no outsiders present during our father-daughter conversation. Wu Qingyang appeared calm on the surface, but he was very concerned about the important news I mentioned. So, he waved his hand, signaling F.A. to leave. F.A. bit her lip in embarrassment, forcing a smile as she said, "Then I won't disturb your father-daughter chat. See, this is what F.A. calls men can have multiple wives by that time. Forget about respect. Women wouldn't even be considered people. They just need to be obedient and submissive to bear children, not much different from pigs." After F.A. left, I continued with the previous question. Dad, as the daughter of the Ender-in-Chief, I was almost killed by the son of your subordinate. Are you really willing to swallow this humiliation? Wu Qingyang looked at me with a cold glare. Don't try to stir things up. Your father isn't foolish enough to be used by a young girl like you. Hearing this, I didn't get angry. Instead, I said directly, then let's make it a condition. You stand up for me and make sure the Lin family doesn't dare to act against me casually within the base. And I'll tell you the secret I know. I wasn't sure if my S-level spatial ability could stand a chance against Lin Yao's lightning ability. Plus, with Lin Yao having many allies, I needed to slowly improve my own strength. What exactly is the information the supporting female character wants to reveal? Is it about the male lead raising S-class zombies in the abandoned Southwest factory area? My face showed no emotional fluctuation, but inside I was laughing with joy. I never expected to stumble upon such an unexpected gain. Wu Qingyang nodded. I guarantee your safety within the main city. Once you leave the main city area, you're responsible for your own life and death. Verbal promises carry no weight. I cannot gauge their truth or falsehood. You must summon Laya back immediately for a reprimand. I assure you, my information is extremely valuable. Linia will also assess Wu Ying's attitude toward me before deciding whether to take action against me within the inner city. Only if Wu Yingyang shows a firm stance will Lina have any reservations. I really want to know what the female supporting character is going to say. Is it about the male lead and his father having already obtained a B-level psychic ability by cultivating S-level zombies? How could such a secretive act by the male lead and his father be leaked? The book didn't mention that there was a traitor in the male lead's team, did it? Is it about the Lin family hiding 2 S-level crystal cores? I remember the male lead hasn't fully absorbed the crystal core he accidentally obtained at this point. Right, The male lead hid the crystal core in the pen holder in his bedroom. If the female supporting character reveals it, wouldn't Wu Ying find it as soon as he sends someone to search? Please don't. The most dangerous place is the safest. The female supporting character and her father would definitely think the crystal core is on the male lead or with his father. Why would they search his bedroom? Besides, the female supporting character might not even know about the male lead having a crystal core. I think it's probably that the secretary has already pledged loyalty to Lin Hai. On the day the female supporting character tried to assassinate the male lead, wasn't it the secretary's son who forced the dagger out? His ability to control metal is quite useful. Right, that should be it. I mentally raised Lin Yao's danger level another notch. I never expected him to have a psychic type ability. Don't push your luck. Wu Qinyang was displeased with my repeated demands. I shrugged. Fine, I'll just take this secret to my grave then. I'm sure you'll be joining me down there soon enough. A vein throbbed at Wu Ying's temple. All right, I'll have Laya return right now. Your information had better be valuable, or else Wu Ying's threat was fully revealed. I confidently smiled at him. You will definitely feel that it's worth the price. Wu Qingyang ordered his subordinates to set out and bring Wu Ying back. I nodded with great satisfaction. Then we, father and daughter, will wait for Lin Yao to return. Before continuing our chat, Lin Yao and the others won't arrive until tomorrow at the earliest, and I've decided to play the role of a master thief. Tonight, Lin Hai isn't at the Lin family estate. When Wu Ying ordered his subordinates to bring Lin Yao today, Lin Hai never showed up. Based on the barrage comments, I suspect he might have gone to the southwestern factory to inspect the zombies they're cultivating. So, entering the Lin family estate was a breeze for me. I didn't encounter any obstacles along the way, though the barrage comments were so noisy they made my eyes ache, and I couldn't turn them off. Why is she going to the Lin family estate? I have a bad feeling about this. Me, too. Don't take Io's crystal cores. Both of these cores can grant S-class abilities. Stop it. Ignoring the barrage of crazy comments, I directly took out the 2 crystal cores from the pen holder and began absorbing them one by one in the palm of my hand. I couldn't guarantee that no accidents would happen on the way back with the crystal cores. Only by absorbing them all could I feel at ease. Otherwise, like that fool Lino, I would end up crying for doing all the work only for someone else to benefit. 2 minutes later, I gained 2 S-level abilities, teleportation and invisibility. Great, a perfect skill for killing and looting. At that moment, I suddenly sensed that my spatial skill could merge with teleportation. Immediately after, my skills underwent a transformation. S-rank spatial skill, storage, cutting, tearing, S-rank invisibility, B-rank healing. I couldn't resist and immediately began testing the 2 newly acquired skills. Spatial tearing allows me to tear open a space and transfer to another location with a maximum transfer distance of about 50 kilometers. Meanwhile, invisibility can make my body intangible, rendering me invisible to others, but it can only be maintained for 10 minutes. After it expires, reactivating, it requires a 1-minute cooldown. After trying out 2 supernatural abilities, my vision suddenly went a bit dark and I was starving. It seems that using these abilities consumes a lot of stamina. It wasn't until I ate 10 chocolate bars that my head felt less dizzy. I slowly nibbled on the bread I had secretly taken from the kitchen, watching with great interest as the barrage of comments wailed as if their mothers had died. Without these 2 abilities, how will the male lead dominate in the apocalypse? I want to curse someone. Why didn't the male lead use the crystal core directly after obtaining it? Isn't that just handing it over to someone else? According to the plot, the male lead originally intended to use these 2 crystal cores to persuade Wu Qing's chief medical officer and Vanguard captain to defect unexpectedly after seeing the S-grade crystal core. These 2 were so moved that they switched sides to the male lead without even taking the crystal cores in the end. The male lead absorbed the crystal cores himself. Now the entire plot has been ruined by the female supporting character. Oh no, the female supporting character now feels even stronger than the male lead. Is she going to go kill him again? No way. Lin Yao is the male lead. He won't die, right? He has such a powerful healer, like the female lead by his side. I still want to cry. The male lead's special ability was just stolen by that malicious female supporting character. It's fine. The male lead can cultivate more S-class zombies and harvest more abilities. #*# Yuan. My hand holding the bread paused. It seems I need to find an opportunity to deal with Lin Yao and his son as soon as possible. Giving them time is giving them a chance to grow stronger, since I already have the ability to kill Lin Yao. I don't need to rely on Wu Yang at all. I went to the kitchen again, stored a large amount of food in the space, and then prepared to use spatial tearing to directly go and kill Lin Yao. When it comes to killing, it's better to act sooner rather than later. After using spatial tearing about 3 times, I saw Lin Yao and the others from a distance. I hid behind the bushes, ate some bread and chocolate, and then waited quietly for the opportunity to strike. It was past 3:00 in the morning, and the soldiers on night watch were starting to feel a bit drowsy. Just as I was about to use invisibility to approach Lino, I noticed him getting up and pulling Wulu into a nearby grove of trees. The soldiers on night watch exchanged knowing smiles after they had walked away. I smiled, too. It was as if someone had delivered a pillow just when I was feeling sleepy. Lin Yao and Wu were kissing passionately in the grove. Using my stealth skill, I quietly approached from behind Lin Yao and effortlessly slit his throat with a single stroke. Blood sprayed onto Wu's face before she could react. I gave her a slash as well. Both of them died with their eyes wide open, seemingly unable to believe what had happened. Fearing any unexpected changes, I promptly extracted the crystal cores from their brains and absorbed them. My abilities have become S-rank spatial skills, storage, cutting, tearing, S-rank invisibility, S-rank healing, B-rank illusion. This illusion should be the mental type ability that the Barrage mentioned Linya possesses to eliminate the root of the problem after replenishing my supplies again. I prepared to use spatial tearing to head to the southwest factory and kill Lin Hai. Is this still the novel I was reading? Both the male and female leads are dead. Are you kidding me? You vile #** at Yuandin. I didn't pay attention to the barrage of curses directed at me. Focusing on dealing with the enemies was more important. Lin Hai was much easier to handle than I had imagined. His highest level ability was merely an A-grade, wind-based power. I also took the opportunity to kill the 3 S-grade zombies he had cultivated. Lin Hai and Lina were truly insane. The laboratory was filled with many ordinary people without any abilities. Their zombies weren't even captured from outside. Instead, they injected high-level zombie viruses into ordinary people, directly turning them into zombies to obtain higher-level ones. After all, zombies below B-grade don't have usable crystal cores. I released the ordinary people who hadn't been injected with the virus and killed all those who had turned into zombies, both humans and animals. By the time I returned to the Sky Dome base, it was only a little past 6 in the morning. Wu Qingyang was still in his gentle embrace, while the ordinary people and lower-level ability users in the outer city were already being whipped by soldiers to continue building higher walls beyond the 4th ring. After all, a zombie horde was no joke. I thought about it. Now that I was Wu's only heir, shouldn't he be able to step down? But before I could even get close to Wuing, he spotted me. Rebellious daughter, what are you trying to do? An ice blade flew towards me, and with a wave of my hand, an ice wall appeared in front of me. Wu Qingang stared in shock, his eyes wide. When did you gain ice-based powers? I smiled at him gently. An hour ago after saying that, I immediately used my lightning-based powers to strike at Wu Qingyang to ensure he wouldn't survive. The lightning I unleashed was a full meter wide. Wu Qingyang died without a trace, and Fa beside him was also affected, losing her breath. I became the new lord of the Sky Dome base. All those who opposed me were killed by me, and the remaining people would applaud and agree with me even if I called a deer a horse. Therefore, the new base laws I issued were implemented without any hindrance. Abolished the hierarchy system. No longer classify people in the base as 1st class, 2nd class, or 3rd class. Everyone is equal. All individuals within the base enjoy equal rights and obligations. Those with special abilities are prohibited from arbitrarily harming those without such abilities. Violators will face enhanced penalties. Any acts of bullying or oppression, particularly those targeting women within the base, will be severely punished. The outermost city will be transformed into farmland, while houses in other urban areas will be uniformly constructed to be sturdy and practical. That's it. Did the male and female leads really die? Everyone died, and only the female supporting character is still alive. Oh my god, the book title has changed. Quick, look at the title. I became a life winner after being spoiled by bullet comments after hearing the story. What are your thoughts? Feel free to share your ideas in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing your voice.